Would you do us the favor of sharing your full name and your address for the record?
It is Leo Thomas Lindner III.
By whom are you currently employed?
I am employed by MI. I'm also teaching adjunct classes at Nicholls State University.
For how long have you been employed by MI?
A little more than 10 years.
All right. What is your current position with MI?
I am a senior drilling fluid specialist.
You and your MI-Swaco team were specialists in drilling fluids, right?
Yes.
My understanding is you arrived on the Deepwater Horizon on April 6th. Is that right?
That's right.
What were your responsibilities or duties during that roughly 2-week period?
As a mud engineer, as a drilling fluid specialist?
Yes.
To conduct tests on the drilling fluid and create a daily report, a mud check. Created some LCM pills the night that I got there. Those are basically what I was
Those are
doing.
your general duties as a mud engineer or a drilling fluid specialist when you're on an offshore rig.
Right.
The idea of using the two LCM pills, combining them and making them into a spacer, going to yet again address that subject.
Made the suggestion to Murray Sepulveda.
True.
You can see that the concept of taking the two LCM pills and using them as a spacer was discussed at a fairly high level there in the MI-Swaco organization, correct?
Yes.
So the idea isn't being just done because you said so, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Or because John Guide said so.
No, my initial conversation with Murray, and I don't know if I was the first one to talk about him concerning that particular one, but that was really just the beginning of the process.
Your company told you that it would be the right way to go.
That is the idea that I got from Doyle.
Okay, and you yourself thought it was the right way to go.
Oh, yes.
And you and your colleagues with the experience that you've described, Blair, Manuel, and Gordon Jones, also agreed it was the right way to go.
I don't remember either one of them having any qualms about it.
You had done displacement procedures similar to the one you did on April 20th before, is that correct?
Yes.
Let's walk through this. And it's got the MI-Swaco on the top, got the nice little logo there. It's got BP/Deepwater Horizon, and it has a reliant displacement procedure. Did it have the Macondo on there, or did you add that?
I had to change that, right?
All right, so you did type this, correct?
Well, I mean, there are several versions from previous wells, and we take a version and we redo what needs to be redone. But yes, you could say that I typed it.
All right, well, then let's talk about that. So this is another one of those forms that's saved somewhere on a computer.
Right, but this is not a company-wide form. This is just what we used on the Horizon. The mud engineers used on the Horizon.
Fair enough, but it is to some extent a form because some of the sentences are already typed and available for you to use.
Right.
Do I understand correctly that that's part of the services MI offers to its clients?
Creating a displacement procedure?
Yes.
Sure.
And is that specific to BP, or to your knowledge, is it for other clients in the Gulf?
If you were going to displace the well for another production company, they'd expect you to print out a displacement procedure that everyone can go off of as a guide.
When you had your meeting that afternoon on April 20th, between 2 and 3 or thereabouts, that pre-tower meeting, you walked through that displacement procedure with the people attending.
Yes.
You explained how things were going to happen and sort of the strokes you were looking for and the procedures that were going to go on that evening.
Yes.
And my question is simply this. Transocean had a tool pusher there, Wayman Wheeler, right?
Yes.
And Dewey Rivette Driller was there, right?
Correct.
Was Mr. Curtis an assistant driller there?
Yes. Mr. Steve Curtis was there.
And Mr. Clark, another assistant driller, was there?
Yes.
Was the displacement the only subject of this meeting as far as you can recall?
At that particular meeting, that's what I recall.
Did you understand it was your job to make certain the participants in the meeting understood what was to be happening during this job?
It was my job to explain this document as best as I could to those who were going to be involved.
Did you ask for any questions?
They certainly had the opportunity, yes. I did ask for questions.
Do you recall anybody asking you any questions?
I don't recall anyone asking any questions.
Do you recall anybody leaving the room seeming puzzled as to what they were to do next?
I didn't notice anyone like that.
And in fact, wasn't it your understanding at the time that the basic outlines of this procedure was something that was familiar to the crew?
Yes.
Did any BP company man ever ask you to do something that, in your mind, would cut a corner on safety in order to save time or money?
No.